All right, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of the Curfew Boys podcast. Sammy here with Anthony, Joey, and Zook.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Wow.
Like,
What episode are we? This is my first episode of the year, guys. The season.
We are episode 181. And Zook, this is your second episode of season 4.
Yeah, it's
I'm saying of the hockey season. Yes, we started earlier, but I'm saying game 1. Wait a second.
But this is our first.
The last show was
This is our first episode for all of us.
The season started.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Wasn't there it was an episode last week?
They did a preview.
It was a season preview.
Okay, but that's what I meant. I'm saying it's my first.
He's trying to cover that he's wrong.
Okay, whatever.
Look at
It's confusing.
Face. He's just waiting for us to finish.
I love you all.
Are you guys done debating this?
Yes.
All right, get back to your intro,
Next we
Sam.
should
No,
debate is
it's funny. It's just like it's like we all had a season opening episode where the 6 of us were here, and now you're like, oh, no, it's your first. No, it's your second. No, but
It didn't count for me because that was preseason. But yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's our season. This talk about the Curfew Boys season, not the Montreal Canadiens season.
Such a sentimental beauty.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
At least none of us have a bad knee. Am I gonna start segueing it?
Nice.
Too soon. I just wanted to say, Adri couldn't make it, and my cousin Chris is gonna show up probably midway through this episode. But yeah, Joey, thanks for.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, Sam. I don't mean to cut your intro, but I have to say this. It's important because I got some messages today in regards to our fundraiser. We will be putting a post this week, tomorrow, to advise you all that we are postponing the event. It is not canceled, so keep it in mind that we're still having this event, but October 21st, which is this Saturday, will no longer be our fundraiser. It will be pushed for the month of February. Details to come soon, but just want to let you know, do not show up to the rink on Saturday because there's no event. Because 2 people messaged me today saying, hey, what time does it start on Saturday? I'm like, shit.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
And please take Anthony seriously, even though he's wearing that.
No.
We'll talk about that later, but let's talk Habs.
It's very true. What are you wearing, Auntie, by the way?
A Patriot. What do you think?
I don't know. It looks like shit to me. I'm
exactly.
Exactly.
I'm semi-kidding. Like,
dude, it's the Habs colors, though.
It's still the
bleu, blanc, rouge.
It's true. All right. So, yes, it is. What are we? Today we're Monday, and I think Habs Nation woke up with a nice kick in the balls about an injury update, as if we didn't have enough of that last season. Kirby Dach has suffered a significant injury, one that will likely put him out for the season long term. Doesn't mean he's out for the season. We don't know yet, but about a couple of hours ago on Twitter, Eric Engels tweeted this. Initial word I'm receiving on Canadiens Kirby Dach is he has a torn ACL plus a torn MCL in his knee. There are more tests being done, and we'll wait for Habs to officially confirm once they've received all the info. But this puts Dach's season at risk if it ends up being the case. I don't know about you guys, gentlemen, your men, or the other men of this fan base. I don't know if you would rather get kicked in the balls or receive this news. I'd rather get kicked in the balls so Kirby Dach could be healthy this season. This is just me personally, especially seeing the preseason that Kirby Dach had, officially labeling himself a centerman. And for once that I felt super comfortable knowing that our center was Nick Suzuki and then Kirby Dach following.
We had this conversation last episode in regards to who would be the number 1 centerman. Dach.
I know. And
that answers this question. That answers the question. It's Suzuki.
And this shit. I mean, it's like Juraj Slavkovsky told the members of the media. It's fucking terrible. In his actual words.
Just reading. No, it's absolutely fucking terrible. It's the worst thing that could happen 2 games into the season.
So
horrible.
It's like fucking shit. And
like,
so go Zook.
That's what I've been saying all along. It's like we don't even deserve to have an elite talent. They'll play 2 games and they're fucking dead. It's like even if he would have drafted Bedard, he would have been smashed. It's the Habs curse. I'm telling you, it's the fucking curse. There's somebody up there. He turned to a fucking Toronto fan. I'm sure, like one of the Habs gods turned to a Toronto.
We were all excited,
and now we're feeling it. Now we're feeling the wrath of this fucking ghost.
We were all excited about having Ramsey as one of the athletic trainers, right? It's Ramsey's last name, the guy from New York.
New York, yeah.
But this is nothing any athletic trainer can do. This is just plain bad luck.
Yeah.
And he's going to be out for probably the season. So there goes your top 2 centermen who played well in the first 2 games, right? And yeah, it's a big blow. But this is where Monahan and guys like we got Newhook. This is where they're going to have to step up, take a spot.
But relying on Monahan though.
No, but we are cursed. I will agree. As much as the Habs last year and 2 years ago was nice for trying to get first overall, whatever the case is. Now, from what I wanted to see was progression from players go from one level and bring it to the next, even if they don't make playoffs, even if they come bottom 8. I don't care about the players around them, the players that are getting older, the Gallagher Savards, even the Armia when he was there, they're trending downwards. It's these type of players I want them to trend upwards and okay, in 2 years.
Yeah,
exactly. In 2 years, when you have these guys, they brought it to another level. They know they can show it. You fill them around with Lane Hudson coming, Mayu, Ryan Backer, who is hurt, which we'll talk about, I assume, after. Even some of the Laval guys who have brought great depth, and now, it's
Emil Heineman's injured too, by the way.
Yes, he is.
I don't get it, man.
It's 3. It's literally every level you're talking.
But are we the only team that has this issue? Because it seems to be the case.
I'm sure there's other teams, but it's I don't know if it happens at this scale. I really don't.
I don't understand. It's frustrating, to be honest.
I hope they don't take a step back from it. I'm talking about the guys I want to see. Again, I want as much as everybody else to have I won't say everybody else to have a good pick and a good future coming up, which I think we will.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a season, and I'm the tank one. I'm the one that wants them to tank. I know I'm on probably the wrong side of this, whatever. But this was a season. If they were to come 8th, 9th, 10th last, or even 5th or 6th, but these players, including Dach, would take it to another level. That's all I wanted was this sort of progression.
And that's what I said in the last episode, where this season I don't care about playoffs. I don't care about tanking. I don't care about anything. All I care about this year is seeing all these players play together, the excitement of watching these guys play, and everybody take it to the next level, like the Suzuki, the Coffee, the Dach. Now, yes, it's unfortunate that we have, this crazy injury, because we all said it. We won that trade with the Kirby Dach and
we won every trade,
right? And now it's like, is this going to be a flop in the sense that, yes, he's injured the whole season. Will he come back next year? Will he be a better player, or is this injury going to cause him for the future?
All of those are the above. Yeah,
it's a lot of variables, especially knee injuries, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge soccer fan, and you see a lot of them, a little more probably in soccer, and you never know what type of player you'll get when they come back from an ACL and an MCL tear. You can get somebody
doing Price. Dude, it shortened his career by 5 years.
Yeah, but does it help? Does it help
that in 2015?
Does it help that Dach is still young enough to recover quickly?
Let's
say he gets a surgery. Let's say he needs surgery. He's 22.
Yeah, but he does for sure. Price was young too when he got that injury too.
What was he? 2015? He was in his mid-20s. He was mid-20s.
He was a little older. He was close to 30.
Did he only tear his ACL, Price?
He was like 26, Sammy.
But when did it happen? In
2015.
2015, 2016.
That's Price 10 years ago. So he's 35 now. So he was 25 then.
Yeah.
No, it's close.
Ish, like more or less. He was mid-20s.
He had to have been 27, 28. That was his prime. That's usually when a goaltender reaches their prime.
That's a good 6-7 years on Dach.
Yeah, exactly. It's different.
It's a different player. In sports, that's a big gap. That is a very big gap. 6-7 years. But did he only tear his ACL?
Well, look.
Price?
There's
not
no
confirmed yet.
There's
no. I'm talking about Price.
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 He was 27. You're right. 27 years old.
I don't know if it was ACL or MCL. I really don't remember.
Because he tore both, Doc, and that's what I'm saying. Some guys, Sam, you know, you're asking about coming back or not. I know it's a different sport, but like I said, athletes, some guys are on Doc's age, come back, never the same. Some guys come back and it's like the injury never happened. You really don't know. It depends how rehabilitation goes. But if I was them, if they have an ACL, some players heal in 6 months, some heal in 9, but even in 6 months, like Caulfield, again, I don't expect Montreal to be anywhere in an important playoff spot. Maybe Kent Hughes thinks otherwise, but I think we should just shut him down for the season. And it sucks. Yeah, it's an ex-Hab player that injured him.
Fucking Tenorti, man.
Purposely, but whatever. It
was a simple hockey play. Tenorti was trying to, you know, take the body and going towards the boards. Just the way Dach jumped onto the boards, I think like his leg stayed still, pinned up against Tenorti while the rest of his body was moving. So it's a freak accident. There was definitely no intent. There was nothing. There was nothing malicious about the hit. It was just a freak accident.
But although Sam, it's a big loss, and it is
1,000%.
I think Hughes set up the team to at least be able to cover, to still play some decent hockey. Look, you got Newhook and Monahan. It's still not bad, and from what people seen in Newhook, but we saw it at wing, not at center. It's still a difference. It looks pretty good so far.
Preseason, he did some center work though. In preseason.
Well, okay, so
he was centering some lines.
Speaking of Newhook, now it's official that he's going to be the second line center. The Canadians brought him in. I don't know if I don't. Well, here's the thing. So here's my question: do you keep Newhook at center? Where does Monahan go if you do when Christian Dvorak comes back? Or do you think if Dach's season is terminated, he's out, you put him on LTIR? Does that allow Kent Hughes to maybe make some kind of trade?
I don't think you should be aggressive. Not now. You don't know how the season's going to go unless you can get somebody that doesn't tie you in for past this year.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason to make a move now.
Where this
team's gonna go. Sorry, Ango.
No, sorry. I think I cut, but no, I think there is something brewing right now in regards to the whole goalie situation. So maybe with this whole situation with Dach, they can add a package.
I think they're gonna evaluate Newhook at center first.
Yeah. But what happens when Dvorak comes back now?
Okay, so now when I personally think
Newhook goes back to wing. Dvorak only plays center.
I'd like to see.
What if he plays really well center though? Like
I'd like to, and you know what? I think what will happen is you have. Actually, that is a good question. No, I like Newhook at center, and I really like that they put Josh Anderson to the second line because him and Newhook had chemistry during the preseason. So now Raphael Harry Pinard is going up on the first line with Suzuki and Caulfield. Amazing. I like this try.
This team is so freaking dynamic though, and like versatile. Like
yes.
If there's a team that could absorb the loss of a player like Kirby Dach, it's this lineup right now.
It could be, but
that's what I think.
I think
out of all the years, it's this year is the most solid.
But I truly think Ken Hughes acquired Newhook, re-signed Monahan for something like this, in case of an injury. But yet he knows that a guy like Newhook could play on the wing, even though he was a bit of a centerman during Colorado. But he knows, he knew that, like this is pro scouting. This is what they have to do. I think Hughes better prepared this lineup in case these injuries happen. So what I'm really happy to see is this, call it a trial period for now until Christian Dvorak comes back. I'm happy to see Newhook paired up with Slafkovsky and Anderson. At a couple of times, they look good to those three play together. They look good in the preseason. I think Raphael Harvey-Pinard deserves that promotion. But when Dvorak comes back, that third line center, which is being occupied by Sean Monahan, I want to see. Obviously, Dvorak is going to take that third line, the third line center. If Newhook is doing well at the second line center, put Monahan on the first line with Suzuki and Caulfield. And I know Anthony wanted Tanner Pearson, but I don't think that's going to happen. So
what a shot.
I waited for now to listen to that. And when I heard the Tanner Pearson first line, I just shook my head.
It's a good shot, though. Come on.
Joey's like,
I mean, he did score.
My eyes were twitching. I went for a walk when I was listening to it. I went to get some air, and my eye was twitching.
On pace for 42 goals, guys.
Joey almost twisted an ankle.
I mean, he did score a goal and got a point. So, I mean, he has 2 points already, more than
he's on pace for a lot of points.
Hey, that was a nice goal.
Beautiful shot. Yeah, well, he has a good shot though. He's had a good shot.
I really hope he has a sick ass season, man. Just to fucking go back to this episode. I really hope he has a great season.
It's just age with him. If you actually see now, he's 36. Tanner Pearson?
No, I think he's 33.
Yeah, hockey years he's old. Hockey years he's old. But when he was in his prime in LA, he was a very good player. He was part of that Toffoli line that went for that cup run. Yeah, it was.
So I don't know.
You're right. Going back to it, just to finish off, going back to it, I think you're right. I think it's going to be Monahan or obviously Newhook, who are versatile, which is what you need in the lineup, to sacrifice the center spot for when Dvorak comes back. I think that's the easy move to slot in
but Monahan's good at center though. Like he's so smart.
I know. To me, it would be more Newhook given his speed, and he's played the position a little less in Montreal. But I mean, again, he'll evaluate.
So wait a minute. So you're thinking try Newhook on the wing with Suzuki and Caulfield? Keep Monahan second line center with
just Newhook in general plays the wing, whether it's first line or second line when Dvorak comes back. He was doing it when Dach was here. Dvorak doesn't play anything but center. So
no, for sure. But
the only logical thing is Newhook goes back to the wing when Dvorak comes back.
Does the loss of Dach affect Slafkovsky's development?
I don't think so.
It's a great question.
A lot of people are worried about that.
No, if you let one player ruin your development, then I'm sorry, it's not for you.
And Dach, out of all people, you know what I mean? Like, Joey, you just perfect point. If it's one player that's going to ruin your development, I think you're just not ready for the NHL. Period. But
it can't be one.
Out of all
I think with a coach like Marty St. Louis, though, like he's not going to let that happen. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So last season, before both Monahan and Slafkovsky got injured, I actually thought Slafkovsky looked his best when he was playing with Monahan. If you remember that Calgary game that ended Monahan's fucking season after, but like those two looked good together. Like,
we had a second line.
The opening face-off, like Monahan made a play, Slafkovsky comes in, puts the puck open in the empty net, but looked great doing it. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Monahan second line center with Slafkovsky and Anderson, and maybe try Newhook on the top line with Suzuki and Caulfield.
Isn't Newhook a left winger, right?
That's okay. You put Caulfield on the right.
Yeah, I guess. I think Caulfield's been so used to left with Suzuki, but that could work as well. I just know last year there was that chemistry with Slafkovsky and Monahan because that second line, we actually had an episode where we said, wow, we actually have a second line now.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Monahan got injured.
And so I don't know, maybe
that can work as well. Yeah, but it's a new season. We don't know, but I think Monahan's going to stick to the third for now, given his defensive abilities. I think he's going to be there to shut other guys down. That's going to be his role until Dvorak comes back, and then
exactly.
But who takes now Dach's spot in the lineup? Who comes in?
Oh, I think Pizzetta's coming in.
Okay.
If they're putting Harvey-Pinard on the first line,
it's
they're definitely putting Pizzetta on the fourth line with Ilonen and Evans. It's a Laval line, basically. So they play. In the sense that they play together. Those three, they play together in Laval. True. Maybe not as much Evans, but I mean, he played with Alonen a little bit in Laval, like he knows him.
I don't know why they're not bringing up. I mean, maybe it's too soon, but Joshua Roy is on fire right now. He's on fire.
Talk about her development. No, that's
why you're not the first person to say this. For where's he going to play?
No, I know. I'm just excited to see them play and watching him in Laval. He's scoring these goals, great. And he's
keep him there.
For development wise, yes.
Let him continue doing that. He's playing top 6 minutes, power play minutes. He's scoring goals. He's making plays. He's not going to be doing that here if he gets called up. Yeah, he's not. He's gonna be what, third line?
You never know. But look at Pinard, what he did. He scored fucking more than most when he came up.
Yeah, but Harvey Pinard had 3 years as a pro.
Oh, it was 3 years.
Joshua Roy just played 2 games.
Okay. I didn't know he had 3 years.
We used to have this discussion like back in school, like a while ago, where we would talk about bringing players up. I don't remember who, I can't, but I remember the discussion specifically. And I always used to say, if you're not bringing up a player to play his role of what he's good at,
Max Pacioretty.
Like Joshua, what?
Max Pacioretty.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was Pacioretty, but if you're not bringing a player up to play his role, which Pacioretty back in the day was a goal scorer, top 2 line, you're going to play him third, fourth line, keep him in the minors. Same thing with Joshua Roy. If you're not bringing him up to play his strengths, there's no point of bringing him up. And the type of season we're going to have, I don't think these players should come in this early. I don't think there's a point of it. If you bring up anybody, it's from Laval, it's probably Armia. It's that type of player you're going to bring up.
Who scored 2 goals in his day. He has 3 goals now, I think. I know he has 2. He scored 2, but he's an NHL player. Like, let's be honest.
He is.
In Laval, he looks like a superstar. That's what it is. But I again, they're gonna wait and see. They're gonna get official report first. They're gonna wait and see what his status will be. If he does need surgery, he's probably going to be out 6 to 9 months. I think
he will. There's no months. I don't think
that's 6 months minimum.
Yeah, it's 6 to 9 months. An ACL, MCL tear are easily 6 to 9 months.
Again, nothing official, but if Eric Engels is reporting this, I mean, the guy's a reliable source, right? He has inside sources. I don't think he's coming out of left field here. So,
yeah,
fuck, it sucks, man. I really wanted, like Joey said earlier, like he was the one guy I want to see progress big time. Like, I know Slavkovsky's on the list. You want to see Cole score more than 40 goals, Suzuki get 80 points. You know that's going to happen somewhere down the line. The real question was, okay, let's really see where Kirby Dach can go this year. And the fact that it fucking has to come to an end so quickly and so early, like I said, I'd rather get kicked in the balls than to see this shit happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it was just too soon, and especially the preseason he had and how well he was playing the first 2 games. I find the whole team, again, we're not perfect yet, and it's only 2 games, so relax, Anthony. But there was a lot of good things that we saw in the first 2 games, and there we go, 3 out of 4 points. And you know what? We could have been 4 points right now. It was a stupid loss against Toronto.
Oh, my
God. 2 goals, 2.
And he missed an open net.
This is just mistakes, right? And these are just minor mistakes for the early season start. Can't blame them. These things happen. Just what sucks is that it was 2 times 2 goal leads that we blew that game.
Yeah,
we were close to a third, right? With Caulfield, the offside, we were close to having 3. I think.
That also changed the game a little bit, but I don't want to focus on that. I don't want to say that changed the whole game. Yes, it would have been a whole different scenario, right? It would have been 3-0 at that point.
But I think we underestimate a little bit how significant that Sheldon Keefe coach's challenge was for that team.
Yeah, of course. 2 goal leads are the worst leads in hockey, but 3 goal leads are.
It's tough,
I
man.
think it's pretty much done.
A 3 goal lead is tough to come back, and I think Anthony's right on this one. Like, there were a lot more positives on that game, the season opener against the Leafs. I think there were a lot more positives than there were negatives, but unfortunately, the negatives outweigh the positives a little bit, if that makes sense.
Because of the loss and blowing those 2 goal leads.
Dude, those are the only 2 negatives I can really think of. I mean, you could add in Jake Allen a little bit, but I mean, he wasn't a negative, but he wasn't he was neutral because one period he looked like he was awful in the third, but he was fucking brilliant in overtime. He was amazing in the first period. So like,
Jake Allen saved us big time. Like,
but that's what I'm saying.
In the second line, but in the second period,
but I just said that. I just said he was brilliant in overtime. He made that huge save against Matthew Nyes.
Here's another negative. The amount, it's probably almost most of them, the amount of offensive zone penalties that the Habs got.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Well said.
It's all while we're attacking. It makes zero fucking sense.
Yep, like, yeah, you're right. And look, man, we all hate admitting it, but Toronto's lineup is
mental. No.
Toronto's lineup is superior to Montreal, and we all know that. And I have no problem admitting it, even though I can't fucking stand them.
One player has all the goals of the Habs.
Well, okay, can I ask you this question, Joey and Sam and everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is going to be an ongoing issue going the whole season. And we've been having this issue for who knows how long. I want to know, is it who we have on the ice or is it the coaching staff in regards to power plays?
It's both.
There's certain players that have certain characteristics to their game that in a pack create a fucking, what you have on the ice. So you could put anybody behind the bench. If you're lacking a player who cuts in at the fucking, at the left-hand circle, it's never going to happen. And then it's just going to be people passing back and forth, and it's stagnant, and that's it.
Well, I just think you
notice the teams, though. Yeah, well, that too. But if you notice the teams that have the great power plays, they have firepower, and they score when they're supposed to score, and they're always in movement. Yeah, and there's no drop fucking back pass. And there's no drop pass. There's none of that shit. They all know where to go. It's like
they enter the zone clean, like zone entry is big, and one of Montreal's struggles on the power play is entering the zone cleanly, and other teams do it like 80 or 90%, and we do it less. You're right about the players, but I think our forward unit, I was including Dach, can do it. I think the problem is a bit more coaching and the lack of a power play quarterback, which we haven't had in forever. Yeah. The last time our power play looked good, besides the coaching, was probably when we had Markov. That was the last time I think our power play looked great, and we still don't have the brain of the power play, which is the quarterback. So you need that.
100% we need that because that that extra goal that we can have just because of a power play can change the whole outcome of the game.
Special teams kind of determine your season. If they're bad, I don't think you're making playoffs. They need to be average, at least middle pack to, if not good, on both sides to be probably a playoff team. There are the odd exceptions. You'll have a team that's really bad, let's say on the power play, but they're super good at penalty kill. Like, it kind of evens out, and maybe they score a little less on it, but they also give up a lot of. They give up less. But most teams are at least middle pack to, let's say, to top 10 if they're a playoff team.
25%
improve, yeah. But the Leafs, that's the thing. And look, I was frustrated probably for the first time in forever when we lost. I was, because usually I've been so used to wanting to lose for 2 years, for tanking. For the first pick, I wanted Montreal to win. I want to see progression. I don't think we're at a point anymore where we want to see tanking. I said a couple years for me, and it's over. I stay true to it. And to be up 5-3 and to lose it, not be able to clear the puck, not score on a power play, and just feeling loose on a power play, knowing they can score at any time and we can't. It's super frustrating.
Goddamn Guy Boucher, he had to fucking come up with.
Fucking hate him.
He had to come up with a play with 4
Remember
minutes
left
to pull the goal.
You have to this. Like fuck, and now he's doing that to our biggest rivals. Like, God fucking damn it!
I know,
that's because of, that was that whole Klingberg stop, right? Because if that puck would have been cleared at that moment, the game was over. Right. Klingberg caught it, brought it down, and then Matthews scored that.
That's why I'm there. I'm like, you have a whole left side open. Use
what
the
a
boards.
Shot, Matthews, though, man. Come on,
use the boards. Yeah, but I have Matthews in my fantasy league at like 2 games in a row. He scores a hat trick. Did me some good.
I don't get it.
Fuck, I don't get it.
Doesn't that hurt, Sam?
It does.
When having the opposite, I have that in football.
Not he was available, dude. So I'm in a fantasy league with my colleagues, and I was drafting 9th. And Matthews was available at 9 overall. Like, I'm
Who
like,
the fuck are you playing with?
Exactly.
Yeah. How the hell is
Matthews? Not Leaf fans.
How the hell is Matthews going 9?
Well, because there's McDavid, there's McDavid, there's Draisaitl, there's McKinnon, there's Pasternak, there's Makar.
I'd pick.
And then the other
they would pick. Someone took. I love Makar, but sorry to get sidetracked. Someone took Makar over Matthews.
I don't remember. All I know is that like I was next. I saw that Matthews was available. I'm like, this is a fucking no-brainer. I'm like, he's not gonna have a disappointing season like he did last year. Like he's gonna score at least 50 this year.
Disappointing season,
2 games.
Yeah.
Wait. Last year was disappointing.
Less than 50 for Matthews. What did he have?
But Zook, that's the expectation.
That's
when you're that good.
Yeah,
that's the expectation.
Like we would be like bowing down to him if we see him in the Canadiens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you think Toronto fans are doing?
Zook, why do you think I've been crying for something like this for so many years? Just to have someone
like it's every 20 years you get a player like that. Like, what are the odds of that happening? Christ, that doesn't make sense.
We could have got
Bedard.
We were 2 picks away from getting Crosby. We were 2 picks away getting Bedard.
Crosby was close.
Zook. Like last year, Matthew scored 40 goals.
Mental.
That's disappointing after a 60-goal season.
He's gonna hit 80 goals this year.
If Caulfield scores 40, like we're in your words, jizz.
Jizz.
Like,
yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like Matthew scored 40.
That's the standard I want Montreal to eventually raise. Because scoring 40 should be nothing. You want to score 50, 60.
I agree with you, Joy, but Michkov's not going to be that guy, by the way.
Whether he is or not, I think he can be. I don't want to talk about it.
No, I'm just saying because I don't. Yeah, I'm just busting your balls. But
if he hits an 80-point season, that's to me. That's where I say I'll mistake. But anyway,
80 point is that level. Yeah. That's at
the beginning of that level. We need more than that.
No, we don't even have a guy that hits that. Why don't we start with 80 before we go?
60 fucking points merits you a $10 million contract almost. Like
so.
Thank you, Zook. Again, Sam. Before you continue. Our last 80-point player was 2007.
That's insane.
2007, 2008. Kovalev with 84.
Kovalev,
yeah, that's our last 80, not 100-point player.
I know. We've said so.
It's tough, man.
I know that. I know, but this is. I agree, and you have a guy like that on the power play,
but
for the Canadiens.
However, though, I think the approach of the Canadiens is to have more of a balanced team. So. Less of those top end players and have a lot of 20 goal scorers.
If I don't know available, they'll get.
Would you rather have a lot of 20, 25 goal scorers or a few 20 and 160 goal scorer? What wins you more games?
Well, I mean, at the same time too. Okay, listen, you have 160 goal scorer and
in the playoffs, you shut down Matthews.
That if he's not scoring 60, but you get another 3 guys that are scoring 20, it's the same thing.
It all depends, in the end, who has more goals. Is it the team that has 60 with few around them or the bunch of 20s? I just go by the overall number. I don't know. You always, for sure, you always need a balance.
When you have more.
Look,
for sure, you always need a balance. But superstars are still going to win you, are still likely going to win you the cup. Look at Vegas. Look at Tampa Bay. I'm not talking Toronto. That's a bad example. Tampa Bay have guys who could score with their eyes closed and who can pass the puck with their eyes closed. They have 3 or 4 guys like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just something Hughes needs to do, like who hopefully gets around to getting that
But that time will come. But it's just right now. Back to our conversation about the Toronto game and just in general for this season, we need to really improve on our special teams because I find, we do have a decent team. I think we do. And if we can get a little better in that category, it could really help us in the long run for this season. You know, like just go back to the Toronto game. How many times were we in that penalty box? You know, Suk, you said it. That was a negative. That caused us to lose this game because of all the times in the penalty. So imagine the power plays. If we scored some goals there, then it could have, like you said, Joey, a balance of, you know, stopping the penalty kill but scoring the power play, or the other way around. But we couldn't do either. You know, we were letting power play goals go in, and we couldn't score a power play goal.
That's been our issue for at least 2 years.
And
Before that, we had a good penalty kill when we made the finals, and before that, but we've had a shit power play since Markov. They've been dropping the puck since 2017, 18. Like it's been years they've been doing it. You blame, maybe that famous drop the puck. I thought it was finally gone when he was gone, but lo and behold, it's not.
So Arbor Jack, I won the fight. Yep.
Did you hear what Reeves said? He's like, "Oh, if you want to fight, let's fight. Don't just push me around, like, or something like that."
He thinks he jumped him or something.
Yeah.
Dude, Arbor Jack, I clearly, when he grabbed Reeves, clearly looked at him and was like, "Let's go." And Reeves was like, "Okay," and actually threw a fucking wicked first punch, and Jack stood up. Like it's Reeves' ego getting hurt, and I hope he doesn't hear this because he could fucking whip all our asses with one punch. But
one touch.
Yeah. When Reeves punches me out, he knocks you guys out too. Like that's just what happens. But dude,
I want Jack to fight. What's his name? Man, what's his name? Oh, it's gonna bother me. The guy who always gets suspended. Is it Wilson? Who's the big? Is it from
Washington? No,
is it Wilson?
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's
well, yeah, maybe Tom Wilson. I probably will. But all that to say is, listen, fucking Ryan Reeves. Like, did he really expect that nothing was gonna happen after he fucking hit Gooley from behind?
Of course.
Like,
he did it, dude.
Of course.
That's his ego that got fucking hurt. That's all.
Yeah. Okay, and when did this penalty start? This rule came about in regards to it.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? It's new.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I don't know if it's new from this season, but
so fucking stupid.
It's because I think I don't know. I have to double check the rule book here.
They don't want fighting anymore, Ant. So
I think
that's the problem. Fuck.
I think if a guy drops the gloves, grabs someone, and then that person drops the gloves, the first guy to drop was instigating. If they both drop and go,
what if they don't drop their gloves? See, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have players that's less dropping the gloves, and now they're gonna hit each other with gloves on.
But it's not everybody that's going to do that to everybody. It's like Jack Guy is going to do that to Ryan Reeves because he knows Ryan Reeves fights.
But every team has at least one one tough
enforcer.
Guy.
Yeah, so it's good. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be either. But
they're gone for 10 minutes a game or 17 minutes nowadays.
You do that, well, you're going to have to drop the gloves with the other tough guy, or like if you do a cheap shot, you're going to have to answer the bell.
Nah, so man, they should just let it be. Fight, fuck. It's hockey, dude.
Like, that's I know, but they're trying to avoid it.
They don't want it anymore because the softies don't like it. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to like it. It's
like
okay.
Football. Yeah, just don't go for the knees as much. Like just it's like no, it's a fucking game. Play hit. That's what it is. Like you can't fight. You don't play hockey. You go play tennis or something. Golf. Like
or soccer. You can't.
I don't know what they're trying to do, man. It's hockey. It's like. It's physical.
Yeah, man. I know. Well, they're worried that like it's they're trying to say that it's the fighting that causes concussions. All that it's bullshit.
Look at Maurice Richard. He used to lift couches and do deliveries and then play hockey and get smashed, and he never complained. he used to deliver fucking furniture for a living.
Yeah, but those society like that.
That's a man.
That's a man exactly. Not the version of man in 2023 for many reasons. And also, that's just society had to be a lot tougher back then. So,
do you believe what George Laraque says?
Dude, did you see Laraque? He was so pumped. But he finally.
You believe he trained him?
Yes, I do.
Is that true?
Okay, yes. Because on the Sick podcast with Tony Marinaro during the off season, I listened to the episode where he said he wants to train Arbor Jackeye when it comes to fight against Ryan Reeves. He goes, because Jack Guy's strong. I'm sure he could fight. He just needs some technique training. And and I'm sure he did. That's why Jack Guy was able to.
He was not bullshitting.
He was cool. No, I don't think he's bullshitting at all.
That's cool.
I don't think he is. And I was hoping, pray to God that he did get that. Jack Guy did get some.
Larocque still looks big.
Dude, Larocque is a fucking tank. He's a tank. He's a fucking beauty, George Larocque. I think I love him even more as a hockey analyst. But yeah, listen, look, the game against Toronto was a perfect season opener, a rivalry game. It had everything. It had goals. It had a fight. It had back and forth. It's as a hockey fan, I enjoyed it. As a Canadiens fan, it hurt a little bit to see them blow the 2-goal lead and lose in shootouts. But on the overall, listen, if you're a Canadiens fan, as disappointing as it is, it's a good sign. And if you're a Toronto fan, I don't give a shit, you should be scared because this is a rebuilding team. It's a rebuilding team, and you had to fight back twice to come back, and you could only win it in shootout, and you allowed 5 goals? You should be very fucking scared against other contending teams. That's all I'm going to say.
I'd give it a little bit of time. I know where you're going with that, Sam, but it's the first game for everybody.
Don't defend. Joe, what are you doing?
I'm not defending it. If it was...
Yeah, you are.
For the first time, I'm going to kind of slide in and agree with Joey, only because
it's the first game, Sam.
But Habs Toronto always have a high-scoring game. It's always been like that. It's the rivalry they have within each other. Put talent aside, they always score a bunch of goals against each other. It is what it is.
Yeah, Anthony's right. They do.
Anthony's right. Chris came right on time.
Yeah, when you're right, Anthony. It's not often, but
Patriots suck this year. Am I right or wrong?
You're absolutely right.
Where's my cousin Chris? Oh, look at that. He's in the fucking car.
Is this unprofessional of me to be
very
driving?
Unprofessional? You're out.
1,000%, but
yeah, okay. I had to at least pop in and say hello.
We'll make do, but Chris, I have Anthony and Joey fucking defending the Maple Leafs.
No. Let's Go ahead. Let's add some context here, Chris. And I get where Sammy is going, but I'm also going to agree where Joey is going. So basically, Sam pretty much said that. Be careful, Toronto. You let in 5 goals against the Habs, blah, blah, blah. Be scared about the team, which is correct because we have a good team. But history always notes that the Habs and Toronto always have high-scoring games, no matter the talent. They always score 5-6 goals each. Chris, which side are you on here?
Plus, I'll add, before you say, Chris, it's the first game of the season for everybody.
Yeah, I think, this Austin Matthews scoring 6 goals in 2 games, for example, good for him. And he is one of the game's elite goal scorers. But if I may say, I think a lot of teams just haven't got their defensive shit together, so to say, just yet. And these high scoring games that we see, it's very common year after year. Joey, I think you're 100% right. Year after year, you see these crazy starts to the seasons, guys scoring hat tricks in the first game. But there is a balance to it. There definitely is a balance in that when Montreal plays Toronto in the rivalry games, there is a tendency for the score to be a lot more close. But I don't know. I think Toronto got worse this year than instead of last year. I thought they had better supporting players last year. So I don't know what the fuck the fans are happy about. If we address the Ryan Reeves situation and I give my opinion on it, I just want to say, just don't be stupid about it. To manhandle and to push and to move a fucking 240-pound man, 200 if not heavier, like Jack I did, it's not because you got fucking lucky. It's because you're a monster of a man. And can you just admit that Jack I won the fight? So then continuing on, Toronto, you got weaker overall as a total team. Freaking Ryan Reeves is going to be in the minors by the time the Habs face off with one another the next time around. And 3, just I don't have any confidence. I still think out of the Canadian teams, Toronto might have the advantage over every single one of them, but I seriously do not again see these guys. I think neither of these teams had an outlier game, which means Toronto is as not good as they think, and Montreal is not as bad as they think. So, in about 2 minutes, that's the sum of my thoughts and opinions on what happened in that game, what Montreal is like, and what Toronto is like for the year.
And I'll add, Sam, remember last year, Habs played Leafs 4 times. They went 2-2. For as bad as Montreal was and as good as Toronto was, we actually split the season series. Everything goes out the window when they played each other. I think Leafs only beat Montreal, which was the February game, and the late April game. I think Habs gave up no Caulfield and everybody was gone. But the first 2 games, actually, the Canadians won.
Yeah, so, Toronto still sucked at the end of the day, so they can't go far. This team can't. They can't go far. They suck.
I agree with you. I'm just saying it's the first game of the season, so I don't think they have. Everybody has their.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done
talking together. So
I'm done talking about Toronto.
Let's move on.
We're moving on to the home opener against Chicago, and much better game. 1-3-2.
We almost blew it though because they hit the post right at the end.
Yeah, I know.
Christ.
And it's against.
And again, that was another issue of clearing. They don't use the boards enough, like you said, Sam. So, but put that aside. Let's just before we get into the game, I'm a bit disappointed in one thing with our fan base. And I know we want to add some rivalry and stuff, but to boo Bedard, I find that was very stupid.
I mean, why?
Why is this?
Boston did not boo Bedard, and Pittsburgh did not boo Bedard.
I said Habs fans boo everybody. They boo everybody that's good.
There you go.
It's to
get them. I guarantee if Bedard would have scored, they would have cheered. It's just to get him off his game.
It's more of a you're really good and you're not with us type of.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, and the Habs booed Subban, man. Like the guy who fucking pledged millions of dollars to Montreal, the Habs still booed him. And I'm sure if Price would be traded and be healthy playing somewhere else and we play against Price, we're gonna boo the shit out of Price. So.
Well,
Bedard is no special.
They gave him a standing ovation. Remember we were watching in your basement. They gave him a standing ovation.
You saw the Subban game,
welcome back. Yes,
yeah,
we miss you and all that. It's all business. It's nothing. I don't think it's anything personal. When he touches the puck, okay. They boot Kovalev a little bit too. It's
not just Bedard.
I don't think there's a hate at all.
Did they boo Koivu when he was with Anaheim? When he was traded?
Not as much. No, they cheered when he got I remember they cheered when he got a penalty.
But
I remember that.
But they didn't boo. I think it was a different thing with Koivu. We went through so much, captain. It was a little different from even guys like Kovalev.
Yeah, exactly.
But onto what I was going to say, onto the game itself. Actually, the Habs, one thing I did like is they, for the most part, besides towards the end, they almost blew it. They looked like the better team, which they should. Last year, I found even in games we were playing teams like San Jose, Arizona, who else? We even finished Columbus. Who finished last place? The Ducks. I find we looked worse.
Chicago.
No, Chicago finished third last.
It was Anaheim.
Yeah, it was the Ducks because Chicago finished.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Chicago didn't finish last and got the first overall. I find in those games we actually, I think on paper we're better, even though we're rebuilding. I still think we're better than some of those teams I mentioned, but we actually looked worse on the ice. So for once, we're the better team, and we actually looked like the better team, which was nice to see.
Can I ask? Did you guys discuss? And I'm sorry if I'm having you repeat, but have you noticed the change in the puck movement with the Canadians this year? Like the tic-tac-toe plays, the movement in the offensive zone. I thought after 2 games, like I just simply put, I find this team a lot more creative with the puck and a lot more free to do stuff. I'm not going to even address the Kirby Dach situation. I know you guys covered that, and I'm going to be shedding a tear later tonight with that news. But just to say, do you not find the Canadians a lot more of a They're pretty dominant offensively. They're very interesting and they're unpredictable.
They seem quicker for sure, Chris. They seem better in transition. They seem a lot faster. They seem quicker with their decisions. So 5-on-5, I definitely agree. The one I cannot agree, which for me it still baffles me, is the power play. How they're they seem just as bad as they were last 2 years.
I still think they're very predictable on the power play. It's
predictable.
It's the one guy at the point. They're doing if they're doing the 1-3-1 formation where you have Suzuki coming on the lower right side.
The umbrella.
The defenseman. I don't know if they're doing the umbrella. I think they're doing the 1-3-1, which has Suzuki that's circulating as on the bottom right, but he gets that pass and he goes in and he's going to do either two things. Either he's going to shoot it or he's going to try to find Caulfield across.
But the only two guys that move are them two, or Caulfield and Suzuki.
But you see, we had this conversation last year, Joey, you and I remember, and I know you're probably going to say the same thing right now, but I want to kind of change it a little bit. I find they have no sense of urgency on the power plays.
No, at all.
Okay. Zero sense of urgency.
Agreed.
And they're waiting for the perfect play to take the shot. And last year I made that comment. You said, well, it's important to wait for that opening because if you miss and it's getting blocked, there might be a breakaway. That was the exact words, your rebuttal to my comment last year. But if you look at other teams, it doesn't matter. And it goes back to what you said right now about only two players move to. There's only two players that are moving, right? If everybody had that sense of urgency and everybody found an opening, they might have more opportunities to take the shot. And like you said, Sam or Chris, very predictable. They're always waiting for that perfect moment. It takes them about a minute and 10 seconds off the power play just to take that first shot. Yeah. Like, just take that risk.
That part of the minute is because this season we haven't seen enough yet, but they always struggle. And I want to pull my hair out, rip my shirt. I can't tell you how many things I want to break when I see this. It takes them about a minute to get into the zone if they lose the face-off and it's dumped out. It takes a full minute to get into the zone. And I look at that clock every fucking time with my two eyes. I'm staring it down. I'm barely staring at them getting into the zone, and they're not there until the 1 minute mark. That is absolutely brutal. Like, especially for me that loves numbers.
There's not much that could be done, though.
Joey, your TV disobeys the laws of fucking physics and whatever.
Everything does.
If you don't have players, though, that are specialists in power plays, then what do you expect?
But Zook, to enter the zone, that's the problem. It takes them a full minute. I'm looking at it like my eyes are twitching.
Well, you know what?
Nervous.
You know what, Joey? To that point, Joey, on top of it being fucking frustrating, go back. What the fuck got Dach injured? That stupid drop fucking back pass on the power play where one guy's skating through. Yeah, that's how fucking Dach got injured. He had to skate through literally. There are 10 guys on the ice. There were 9 fucking players ahead of him. Dach is skating on the side, goes to the side, doesn't see fucking Tenorti coming. Bam. MCL, ACL, done. That stupid fucking drop pass, it's enough. And that's not the way to get into the zone, to your point. So, amen to that.
Dump and chase. Yeah,
and it's been like that for years. I don't know if it was before Burrows, but it's been like that for years. I don't get it.
Anthony's favorite, dump and chase.
I'm lost for words. No, dump and chase is passing back now at this point.
Honestly,
but dump and chase to me is just as bad as the drop back.
It is, but I still
I can't stand the dump and chase. But what I'm saying is that I kind of prefer that now than the drop back because we are a faster team right now. So if we were to do the dump and chase, we might even have more success that way than the whole fucking passing back.
Yes, but if they're reverting to a dump and chase strategy, means I don't know, means they.
No, I'm not agreeing.
They gave up.
Yeah, all. I'm exactly. Not saying I want them
to do the dump.
If they do a dump and chase, because that means they have no puck carriers.
Yeah, but that's again, Sam. You have a numerical advantage if that's what you're going to resort to, or the puck drop, which does not work. I don't know what to tell you more. I give up. I'm a loss for words.
But I don't get it too, Sammy.
Like they're not in sync to enter the zone without dropping the puck.
That's what it is.
Dumping it. They're not in sync. The unit on the ice.
But I don't get on 5-on-5 they have no issues transporting the puck. Is what I'm saying. So why? When it's not the case, it's 5-on-4 for one advantage.
Zook, because it's different. A lot of the times when you're going to the zone, it's an odd man rush, kinda. And you know, and you have 2 guys, maximum 3 that are back checking on a penalty kill. It's everybody.
They're all in.
There's nobody in the offensive zone trying to score. And when you get the puck out, you're going up against the other defenseman. It comes
down to passing and hockey IQ.
dude, there's on a 5-on-5 when you're rushing into the offensive zone.
I'm saying on a power play.
There's a little bit more. As much as it doesn't sound like it makes sense, you have more open room in the sense that if you have an odd man rush, well, you can go into the zone without having worried about getting intercepted by
usually
by another two forwards.
Yeah, usually on a throw on two on or 2-on-2.
Power play,
four back, right? There's 4 guys back. They're probably in a box, in some sort of box form, and you have 2 forwards plus the 2 defensemen in front of you.
Not just that, they're covering the line. Not just that, they're covering the line. Because if they were to, if the guys on the penalty kill, if they're backing in as the guy with the puck carrier and the power play is coming in, then you're giving him the room. But they don't do that.
Exactly.
You stand still on the blue line. The other forwards of the Canadiens, they can't do anything unless the puck carrier comes in. But if he's going up against guys that are standing on the blue line, it takes just a simple poke check. He loses the puck.
And
that's why every time Suzuki had to do this, now Newhook is doing it. That's why when they go in, they have to try to flick the puck over the other guy's stick that's standing on the blue line, and hoping that the other winger can carry it or can pick it up.
Exactly.
And if you miss that, forget it. The puck is getting dumped down your zone again.
And it doesn't help that they're still not one of the better teams in terms of face-offs. It hasn't shown it's not as bad as it used to be, but that doesn't help because that means on the power play, you lose that first draw, you're getting into a situation where you got into the zone, which is not a strong suit of your game. So although, like I said, decent game by Montreal, I thought they played better for the most part. There's certain things that still linger from goodbye, Chris.
No, he's coming back.
He's coming back. There's still certain things that linger that doesn't show improvement from last season before, which I would expect Montreal to have, because these players, again, we want them to grow. If they're going to grow, well, these areas have to grow in. Suzuki, besides just getting the 80 points, whatever, the 30 goals or what we did the over and under for the 80 points, he's got to do better at faceoffs. And other guys, they got to do better at zone entries. And defensemen, well, zone exits. A lot of these things are important, and that's what we're going to see this season is if they can truly figure that out.
Yep. No, absolutely. And at the end of the day, I'm happy they got the 2 points against Chicago. I think it's there's a lot more. Again, it comes back to that game against Toronto, and even this one, there's a lot more positive than negatives. But unfortunately, the negatives outweigh the game against Chicago. The negative was that outweighs everything is Kirby Dach getting fucking injured that game.
Yeah, and it's not a negative you can say on the team. That's just
no. But it's just a negative, like a negative, a negative point that happened, or I don't know. It's not. It's not the way. It's not a team play how they played, but it's just it's cool to think that for now, like the first 2 games, they got 3 out of 4 points.
If you do stop the count, and everyone does stop the count. If you stop the count now, we're in the playoffs. Just saying.
If I was able to control time, you end the season now, but it's March or it's April. Sorry, make the playoffs.
We make the playoffs. Yeah, that's true.
I'll take it.
Well, I think Malkin said the same comment this week. If he were to end the season now, he'd be a Hart Trophies winner or something like that.
Malkin.
No.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else, boys? You need to add before we wrap this up?
No, just a lot of positivity. I know it's only 2 games, and I don't want to put our hopes up. But like I said at the beginning of our first podcast of the season, I'm just excited to watch this team, and they're showing the signs that I've been wanting to see, and I just hope better.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I want to see? Actually, Joel, speaking of power, I want to see Caden Gooley get a chance on the power play.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
I don't mind. Like Jack, I love the guy. I don't think he's a power play defenseman.
I have a feeling he will, though.
I want to see Caden Gooley get a chance on the power play.
Yes.
Jack, the only thing I think he's good at or decent at that maybe he's better than other defensemen is his shot doesn't get blocked. It finds a way to the net.
His wristers are always on fucking net. I can't believe it.
Yes. But other than that, though, he doesn't bring anything to the power play.
No, he's not. He's not offensive. That's why. Like Caden Gooley's a two-way.
And Gooley's his skating is beautiful.
Oh, unreal
for the power play. For the power play, that's what you want. Fuck.
And this is why. This is I'm hoping because didn't Gooley kind of suffer a same injury ish last year?
Yeah.
and he's recovered and like he's skating well. So like this is what I'm hoping for Dach.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried. I think they're doing the right call by being very careful. Don't rush him in.
Yeah. So the Canadiens play Tuesday night, the Minnesota Wild. I think Marc-Andre Fleury might get his last start at the Bell Center in front of his
hometown.
I guess hometown, family, friends. So it's gonna be interesting to see the Canadiens. Look, they gotta pick up from where they left off. At least they're doing better than the Laval Rockets. They haven't won a game yet. And I'm going to be heading there actually Wednesday night. I'm going to Laval Rockets game Wednesday night. So I'm actually looking forward to that.
Nice.
And yeah, it's still early in the season, but lots more can happen. And please, no more injuries. Like if the hockey gods can hear us.
Let's not say the word injury yet. It's the last time we said it.
It's the last time we mentioned injury.
Every time we say it, it's like
every time we say injury,
record year of
like we got to stop saying the word injury.
Yes, let's take that cloud and shoot away.
So no more injuries. We don't say injury anymore.
What word is that? Where did you come up?
I don't know.
What's a derivative?
I have no idea. But
what?
All right. What I say? Oh, I think we have one more person coming in. Hold on, guys.
Wait.
You got a duel. You got the Chris Cam.
Hell no.
I wanted to say one last thing before. I forgot.
Realized it's going to affect the upload, so I'll just stick to just stick to this over here for the rest of this one. Perfect. If there's one thing that I can say though, or two things actually, the Canadiens keep getting hit and hit hard. I don't think teams have been holding their hits against us. I want the Canadiens to finish their checks and do it with meaning. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave it at that. You guys named the power play. You guys said all these different things. I think I'm 100% in agreement. But one of the things, like Joey, you were saying, it has you pulling your hair to see the Canadiens 1 minute into the power play struggling,
and he's gone.
I was just about to say bye, Joey. But for example, when you see the Canadiens struggling to get into the zone, pulling of my hair comes when I see the fucking Canadiens getting bullied, and some of their. I know they've had that Wolfpack mentality, but beyond that Wolfpack mentality, I don't want them to be reactive. I want them to go and set the tone, send a message, smash them. Don't fucking hold your hits. Chicago, man, they came out like fucking hitting hard, and hats off to them. That's the way the Canadiens should be playing. They have, especially on the back end, until Lane Hudson gets there, I swear to God, there's not one excuse to not be smashing everything that moves. And please, for the love of God, smash everything that moves.
All right. I think we're going to smash our way out of this episode. So if anybody else has any final words.
Sam Montembeault, he played well.
Sam Montembeault, boom, played well. Actually, I don't know if he gets a start tomorrow.
I think they're leaning towards him.
I think they're going to lean. I think they're
playing 2 games this week, right? So they're going to split. I'm sure they're going to split.
Yeah, probably. And we'll wait and see what they do with Primo. So, well, if that's that, folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Curfew Boys. Listen, we're going to have to move on, like Marty said, with this Kirby Dach injury. Life goes on, the NHL goes on, and hockey goes on. So thank you all for tuning in. Please, if you loved what you heard, like and subscribe on YouTube. It is free. It costs absolutely nothing. It'll just help us grow and make us better. You can hear all our episodes on your podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I think TikTok, I think Threads. And whatever other fucking social media platform comes out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this episode. Chris, thanks for coming in for the final 10 minutes.
If you made it to the end of this episode, this episode's code is
injuries.
Patriot season over. That's it. Happy Joey. The Patriots season is over.
No,
I knew it was over before it
we're
started.
gonna lay off. We're gonna lay off the Gallagher trash talking, and we're gonna start the New England Patriots trash talking. So
You can trash all your way. I'm done for the season. I'm still supporting them, but it's done.
Code phrase is Patriots suck.
Could they still make the playoffs at 1-5?
It's over.
All right.
Not like they win every single game, but whatever. It's not gonna happen.
So fuck the Patriots. Okay, awesome. Love it. Gentlemen, until our next meeting. Bye now.
Good night.